A magic pot makes endless jollof rice. But can the sisters handle the delicious chaos?
In the heart of bustling Lagos, nestled amidst the vibrant chaos of yellow buses and bustling markets, live two sisters, Ijeoma and Ada. Ijeoma, the elder, possessed a sharp mind that could unravel the most complex problems, but her intelligence was often tainted by arrogance. She looked down on others, convinced of her intellectual superiority. Ada, the younger sister, was known for her kind heart and sweet disposition. She treated everyone with respect and warmth. However, Ada had a peculiar problem. Their contrasting personalities often led to friction. Ijeoma would scoff at Ada's forgetfulness, while Ada would gently chide Ijeoma's haughty attitude. Despite their differences, they were bound by sisterhood and the shared hardship of poverty. They lived in a small, dilapidated room in a crowded part of town, struggling to make ends meet. Food was scarce, and most nights they went to bed with rumbling stomachs, dreaming of a satisfying meal. One sweltering afternoon, Ada sat by the window, watching the chaotic dance of Lagos life unfold outside. Her stomach grumbled loudly, a familiar and unwelcome sound. "Oh, I am so hungry," she sighed. "It feels like ages since I had a decent meal. Even just a piece of yam would be a blessing." Desperate for a distraction from her hunger, she decided to take a walk. Perhaps the sights and sounds of the city would take her mind off her empty belly. She ventured out into the streets, armed with only a small calabash of water to quench her thirst. The sun beat down mercilessly, and the city throbbed with energy. She walked past hawkers selling everything from groundnuts to phone chargers, past women with towering head ties balancing goods on their heads, and past Danfo buses belching black smoke. After a while, fatigue began to set in. Ada sought refuge under the shade of a large mango tree, her body weary. "Oh, I'm so tired and thirsty," she muttered, reaching for her calabash. Just as she was about to take a sip, an old woman appeared before her. The woman was dressed in tattered clothes, her face etched with wrinkles, and her eyes sunken with exhaustion. Her presence startled Ada. "My child," the old woman croaked, her voice raspy, "please, can you spare some water? I am parched and haven't had a drop to drink in 2 days." She coughed weakly, her frail body trembling. Despite the woman's unsettling appearance, Ada's kind heart was touched. She couldn't ignore the woman's obvious suffering. "Of course, Mama," Ada replied without hesitation. "Here, drink as much as you need. I hope it is enough to quench your thirst." She offered the calabash to the old woman, who gratefully accepted it and drank deeply. Ada watched with concern, her own thirst forgotten in her desire to help the old woman. "Oh, you are a kind soul," the old woman said, her voice regaining some strength. "Thank you, my dear. Let me repay your kindness." Suddenly, a bright light enveloped the old woman, and she transformed into a beautiful young woman with radiant skin and sparkling eyes. Ada gasped in amazement, her eyes wide with disbelief. "Do not be afraid," the young woman said, her voice gentle and melodious. "Tell me your heart's desire, and I shall grant it." Ada, still reeling from the transformation, told the woman about her family's poverty and their constant struggle with hunger. She explained how they often went to bed hungry, with little hope for a better future. "I understand," the woman replied. "When you return home, you will find a pot waiting for you. It is a magic pot. To make it cook delicious jollof rice, simply say, 'Cook, little pot, cook.' It will produce as much as you desire, enough to feed you and your sister. To stop it, say, 'Stop, little pot, stop.'" Ada's eyes widened. "Magic? Jollof rice? We will never go hungry again," she exclaimed, her voice filled with excitement. Thank you, thank you." "Wait," the woman cautioned. "This pot is a gift, but it must be earned. If you do nothing to deserve it, it will disappear, and you will be back to square one. Remember this, or you will face dire consequences. I will remember, Ada promised. Thank you, kind woman, I will go home immediately. Farewell, Ada. May your bellies be full, the woman said with a smile. Wait, Ada called out, how do you know my name? But the woman had vanished, leaving Ada alone under the mango tree, her mind buzzing with excitement and anticipation. Ada rushed home and found the pot sitting on their small table, just as the woman had said. Ijeoma was standing nearby, staring at it with suspicion. Ada, where did you get this pot? She asked, her voice laced with skepticism. Did you steal it? No, Ijeoma. It's a magic pot. It will feed us forever. Ada replied, her voice bubbling with excitement. Ijeoma rolled her eyes. Magic pot? Ada, you are more foolish than I thought. We have no food to put in the pot. Are you saying this pot can create food from thin air? Yes, Ijeoma. Watch. Ada placed the pot on the floor and chanted, cook, little pot, cook. Immediately, the pot began to bubble and hiss, and the aroma of delicious jollof rice filled the room. Ijeoma watched in astonishment as the pot produced steaming mounds of jollof rice, enough to feed a small army. The aroma was intoxicating, and even she couldn't resist its allure. They both tasted the rice, and it was the most delicious thing they had ever eaten. From that day on, they ate their fill every day, never experiencing hunger again. One day, Ada decided to visit her friend, Fatima. I must remember to tell Ijeoma the words to stop the pot, she thought to herself. But as she was leaving, she struggled to recall the exact words. What were they again? Oh, never mind, Ijeoma already ate this morning. She won't be hungry, she reasoned and went on her way. Later that day, Ijeoma's stomach began to rumble. I feel like eating some of that delicious jollof rice, she thought. Ada wasn't home, so she had the pot all to herself. She gleefully clapped her hands and chanted, cook, little pot, cook. The pot immediately started producing jollof rice, filling the room with its tempting aroma. Ijeoma ate and ate until she was completely full. Ah, that was delicious. Now, I need to stop the pot, she said to herself. But what were the words? Stop cooking, pot. No, that's not it. She tried different phrases, but nothing worked. The pot continued to churn out jollof rice, overflowing onto the floor and filling every corner of the room. Panic began to set in. Meanwhile, Ada returned home to a chaotic scene. Jollof rice was pouring out of the door and windows, a river of red and orange engulfing their small compound. What is going on here? She exclaimed in dismay. She pushed open the door and saw Ijeoma frantically trying to stop the pot, which was relentlessly producing more and more rice. Ada. Help me. I can't stop it. Ijeoma cried out. Ada quickly remembered the correct phrase and shouted, Stop, little pot, stop. Immediately, the pot ceased its cooking, and the flow of jollof rice stopped. Exhausted and covered in rice, they both sighed in relief. They learned a valuable lesson that day about the importance of sharing, listening, and using their gifts wisely. From then on, they used the magic pot to feed the poor and needy in their community, earning the pot's magic and bringing joy to everyone around them.